Hi, I'm Renee, and this is my literacy narrative. Literacy and I have always had a pretty good relationship. While reading, writing, and digital literacy have always been important to me in many ways for as long as I can remember, I can recall developing these skills more clearly at different times throughout my life.
What a good girl.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I remember learning to love reading as a kid. My parents would read out loud to me and my brother and sister, books like The Hobbit, Tar and Wanderer, and Narnia.
Then, as he had said, the dwarves' good feeling towards the little hobbit grew stronger every day. There were no more groans or grumbles. They drank his health, and they patted him on the back, and they made a great fuss of him, which was just as well, for he was not feeling particularly cheerful. He had not forgotten the look of the mountain, nor the thought of the dragon, and he had besides a shocking cold. For 3 days he sneezed and coughed, and he could not go out, and even after that, his speeches at banquets were limited to, "Thank you very much."
Lucy ran out of the empty room into the passage and found the other three. "It's all right," she repeated. "I've come back." "What on earth are you talking about, Lucy?" asked Susan. "Why," said Lucy in amazement, "haven't you all been wondering where I was?" "So you've been hiding, have you?" said Peter. "Poor Lou, hiding and nobody noticed. You'll have to hide longer than that if you want people to start looking for you."
During summer break, we loved going to the library to pick out books to check out. I remember the library had this wooden train you could sit in to read, and the front had this little slide. We really loved that place. My siblings and I have always had an extra special relationship with the Harry Potter books. We grew up reading them together. I can remember the first time we bought one from the bookstore. My sister and I shared a room growing up, and for years we would listen to the audiobooks every night as we fell asleep. Each year, as the next book in the series was released, my parents would buy one copy. We had to take turns reading the book out loud to each other since we could never agree on who would get to read it first.
"It's a letter from my godfather." "Godfather?" spluttered Uncle Vernon. "You haven't got a godfather." "Yes, I have," said Harry brightly. "He was my mom and dad's best friend. He's a convicted murderer, but he's broken out of wizard prison and he's on the run. He likes to keep in touch with me, though. Keep up with my news. Check if I'm happy." And, grinning broadly at the look of horror on Uncle Vernon's face, Harry set off toward the station exit, Hedwig rattling along in front of him, for what looked like a much better summer than the last.
I can clearly remember learning to write research essays in school. I had a really great teacher, so I thought it was pretty easy. And it wasn't until I got to college that I realized how lucky I was to have learned to write well so early on and have been careful not to take those skills for granted. I always enjoyed writing, whether for fun or for school. And I remember that I actually enjoyed writing my very first cover letter for my first grown-up job application, and it actually played a big part in landing me that job. In recent years, I've really started to develop my digital literacy in new ways as I began actively developing my skills in photography and videography. I've learned how to use new equipment and new software. I've started my own business. I designed a logo as well, and all the branding that goes along with that. I created a website and designed business cards. Each of these activities have helped me to develop my digital literacy in ways that I had never imagined. Through all of these experiences, I've learned so much, and I am grateful to be able to help others who are pursuing similar things by sharing what I've learned through these experiences. All that to say, literacy has been invaluable to me throughout the years. Reading connected me to my family, writing connected me to my career, and digital literacy connected me to my passion. Learning to read, write, and digitally compose has enriched my life and made me the woman I am today.